How big do you think that market is of people, high intent people who are searching to purchase land every day? And then once you get that tapped, what's the next most logical place for you to go?
Yeah, good question. So that market, at first I thought it was smaller. Like when you're running Google Ads, you can run exact match keywords. So if I put an exact match keyword as sell my land, that means that only people who exactly search sell my land, you're going to show an ad for. Now, when I was first starting with Google Ads, I was running all exact match keywords. And so I was just adding more and more exact match keywords because there's so many different variations somebody could search. And that's the thing. I read somewhere that something like 30% of Google searches each day are all brand new terms that have never been searched. I'm making up
Okay.
that number off the top of my
Yeah.
head, but it's something like that. There's so many new searches that happen every day because there's all these long tail variations. Because somebody could
Mhm.
search sell my land, but they could search sell my land in Texas, or they could search how do I sell my land in Texas, or they could search how do I sell commercial land in Texas? Or there's just so many different variations of what somebody could be searching. To be able to capture all of those, what you eventually want to start doing is generally opening up your search terms to, rather than doing exact match, you do phrase match or broad match, which kind of gives Google a little more open reins to say, okay, this person didn't exactly search what you said, but the intent is the same.
Yeah.
The goal, what they're looking for is the same. So by opening up, that opens up a lot more. You do have to be careful because Google sometimes likes to just blow your money on stuff that's irrelevant.
Mm.
Right now, I think that you could probably scale this up to, man, it's hard to say because what happens also is as you scale, your cost goes up. If you're bidding your cost per click, you're bidding against other advertisers in that auction. It's not linear where if I'm spending $100 a day and I want to get 5 times more leads, I just go to $500 a day. It rounds off where you scale up, but your cost per lead goes up as you scale up. So you don't get one-to-one returns when you scale up your ad spend like that. It's hard to say, but I think you could probably push it thousands of dollars a day in Google spend, but I'm not sure what the upper limit on it is. And also, it does seem like from what I've seen that the search volume is going up for keywords about selling land. So I think that it will go up over time, the ability to push and scale with Google Ads as that grows, which I'm guessing is fueled a lot by other marketing. All the mailers that guys are sending, all the texts, all the phone calls, some percent of those people one day are just going to, when they're ready to sell, go over to Google and search sell my land. So I think that a lot of that other marketing has fueled the push for the search volume.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. What do you think's driving that? There's this people are getting marketed to. So they're like, "Oh, I could sell my land." And then obviously they're going to land on Google at some point. There's also a bit of a macro shift of people just doing more large transactions digitally. Like, "Oh, I'm going to buy a car online, like cars.com, like deliver it to my house." So I think that people are getting this idea of shifting assets just over the computer, which was insane 20 years ago. That would never happen. But now it's, oh, there's people who buy houses without just buy house online type stuff. That shift is coming too. That's probably longer term, but I like thinking about that bigger picture stuff. So when you say thousands of dollars a day in search volume, what type of lead volume does that turn into? We talking like there's a few hundred people out there per day searching, or a few thousand people out there per day searching sell my land?
Searches, yes. What turns into leads is a lot less. For me, I have less than 20% conversion rate from click to lead. So the amount of people that are searching something about selling land, seeing my ad that says get a cash offer for your land, they click on it, they come to a landing page that says get a cash offer for your land, here's your form to fill out. Less than 1 in 5 people are actually filling out that form. So there's a big drop off between click to submitting a lead form. And now also those people, they might not like something about the site, they may bounce back and become a lead for somebody else. That's possible, where they click on the next ad down and then they fill out that form. I'm getting probably north of 50 clicks a day most days. And there's obviously other advertisers that are getting a fair share of clicks as well. So it's hard to say. When I had more specific exact match phrases, I was starting to push up on the impression share, where I'm taking more and more impression share of the available searches that are coming up. So each time somebody searches, there's a certain amount of advertisers that are going to show their ads for. And so the more that you scale up how much you're willing to pay per lead, how much you're willing to pay per click, Google's going to be more likely to put you in front of more people because they make more money then. I've scaled that up. I was starting to get more impression share. But then as the broad match has kicked in and it's starting to find more of these longer tail search terms to get in front of, my impression share actually went back down a bit. I think there's still a lot of scale to go, but what I'm not sure is how far I'm going to have to push bids to be able to get in front of that and get more impression share. Because the more I want to scale, the more I have to up my bids per click to show to more of these audiences, and the more I have to up my daily budget on ads to be able to push and scale and get in front of more people. So as I scale up, my cost per lead to generate the leads goes up too.
Mm-hmm. And so if you're capturing these leads, and then as you're paying more for them than for sale on your site, I'm sure the price increases. Are you setting a base price and then people are bidding on it, or how's that work? And is your base price a function of how much you're having to pay on advertising, your cost per lead?
No, they're actually disconnected. So it's just on the platform. It's up to the users, the lead buyers, to set what they're willing to pay per lead. And so you can choose either nationwide or you can choose any specific state that you want. Now, different states have more and less lead volume than others, and I show that. So when you choose a state, you'll see what the current best bid is, and you'll also see how many leads we've had from that state in the last 30 days. So there's like Florida's the highest volume state, and that's I think it's around like 35 leads in the last 30 days or so. But then there's some smaller states where we're at like 0, like North Dakota or something. There's not much that comes through. So when a lead gets generated, who's ever the current best bid is who that lead will get sold to when one gets generated from whatever state. So if a Texas lead comes in and the best bid for Texas is $68, it'll sell to that person who's got the $68 bid. Their card gets charged $68, and then they get a text message or an email. And now it's set up CRM integration too. But yeah, they'll get that lead delivered about 10 seconds after the person hits submit on the form. And so the lead prices are just whatever people are willing to pay per lead. And it's essentially a bidding model.